Hi there. You know, I used to get taught Bible stuff when I was at school as a kid, and a few things stuck with me over the years. I, like many people, used to get this phrase wrong. We say money is the root of all evil. In fact, the Bible quote is, "The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." Mixed with this, the phrase most attribute to one of the Rothschilds, which says, "Give me control of a nation's money and I care not who makes its laws." And I think you have your answer for how the world has gotten to the stage it's at today. Some might call the love of money the work of the devil himself, because when you can create as much as you want, the only two things that bar your way are honesty and integrity, and let's face it, if you're creating as much as you want, those are already sacrificed. Ever wondered how a no-talent singer is in the charts again? Wonder why the rich have a get-out-of-jail-free card for a crime, when surely we'd be sent down for it? Sure, they have to resign from their post or go low-key for a time, but they still avoid jail time mostly. Do you just see Paris Hilton and ask, why? Money is the reason a lot of people are made famous. It's the reason people won't speak out. It's the way game-changing inventions are taken from the masses. It's the way potential whistleblowers are silenced, in one way or another. It's the way politicians work more for the corporations than for the people. It lets the greedy treat others as subhuman. I find myself wondering, when I see a star or politician fall from grace, not why they did it, but I wonder what they did to piss off their masters to get this highlighted in the money-owned media, because in most cases, money would have covered it up. So they're probably just being taught a lesson of some type. The world as you know it is 90% manufactured, folks, and it's in part because of the love of obtaining more of those zeros and ones showing in your bank account. Yeah, I know, conspiracy, huh? But you know as well as I, there are plenty of talented people out there who never get close to the life they actually deserve, and we are all the lesser for it. I've only seen snippets of the show, whatever country has got talent, and some of those people can make your jaw drop. I, like many, hold no particular love of money. For me, it's the medium of exchange accepted at a common agreed value, so I don't have to carry around chickens or slabs of salt to break up to get some fuel and a loaf of bread. I will admit, though, that I'm probably also similar to others in believing that if I had enough to mean I could truly be free, by not having to worry about paying bills and working for others, and I could pursue my own hobbies and interests and have a more fulfilled life, then that's what I'd like to do. I guess what I'm really saying here is I value true freedom. Unfortunately, though, the irony is that money is the illusion made to be the shackles that bind us to the wheel, and it's also the manufactured doorway to freedom we are made to seek. There is a tale that for me sums up the difference between the greed that leads to the love of money and the wish to just have enough to be free. It's the story of a fisherman. Now, I'll put it in my own words and hope you'll indulge me. So, a businessman was visiting a seaside village, attempting to relax on his holiday. Whilst trying to unwind, his mind was all the while active, and he began to notice the toing and froing of boats, and the fishermen with their catches. Unable to properly rest, he began to walk, and soon found himself watching a middle-aged man maneuver his rowboat to the shore and start to slowly unload his catch. Hoping to spark a conversation with the man, the businessman remarked on the impressive amount and size of the fish he was unloading, and asked if the fisherman was going to return to catch more. "Not today," replied the man. "I have enough for my family for a few days, and I can enjoy the rest of the day with my children and my wife, and after a nap I can go out with friends and drink and sing in the village meeting place." The two fell silent for a moment while the businessman helped the fisherman unload and pack his equipment, and soon the businessman had hit upon a plan and explained it to the fisherman like this. "You know, I may be looking for a partner in an endeavour out this way. If I financed you to get a bigger boat, you could stay out all day and catch more fish and sell the excess. Then eventually we could hire more workers and catch even more fish. I know a cheap place in the city we could rent in a couple of years as a distribution centre for the restaurants in the area, and we would make a lot of money. With hard work we'd be able to retire handsomely in about 10 years. The fisherman appeared to be thinking about this for a moment, and then said, "And why would I wish to do all this?" The businessman was confused and said, "Well, you'll make lots of money and be able to do whatever you want, wherever you want to do it, without any worries." At this the fisherman smiled and explained, "But I am already doing what I want to do in the place I wish to do it, and being able to spend my time with my family and friends means I am already rich." And he thanked the businessman for his help and made his way slowly up the beach towards the village. So I think people today have lost sight of the true meaning of riches. Having enough to be comfortable, with some money put aside in case something happens, and living within your means used to be enough. But have you seen the music videos, the Kardashians, the adverts on TV that show you more is better, that even vacuous people with no personalities can make a fortune? In fact, that would help. And you can be better than your neighbours with more money and things. That there is a free investment seminar on shares or real estate near you that can help you escape the humdrum existence you were born into and then hammered on the anvil of conformity to accept. Haven't you noticed the only fun parts of most 9-to-5 jobs are when you laugh and have an honest chat with your colleagues or clients? Have you not seen that generally the investment seminars or books that are released, when most, if not all, the wind has gone out of the sails of the investment, but there is just enough for a few more to make it, and that is why the author or talker is releasing the information to make a few more bucks after the fact when it's all slowing down? We are told we should work harder to get more. Well, it could be argued that the more money you earn, the less wealthy you become. I mean this in the form of spending your time getting paper, but having less time creating memories with family and friends and doing the things that mean something to you. Unless the thing that means something to you is earning more money, in which case off you go then, and why are you listening to me? But me, I'd rather be the fisherman in the story. Don't get me wrong, I've tried to do the corporate thing and gotten into management positions, but you always find yourself eventually butting heads against someone who doesn't want to change things for the better because it rocks the boat, or someone who doesn't want to propose your cost-saving strategies to keep more staff in case their budget gets cut, or those that will back a fellow manager to the hilt even though they're wrong because they're management, and they would rather lose a good frontline employee than fix an issue. To bring this monologue full circle, here's another Bible quote about money you might want to consider. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus apparently said, "No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money." How ironic it is then that the American dollar has the words "In God We Trust" on it. Given the duality of nature, yin and yang, good and evil, light and dark, I have to wonder at the duality mentioned here, as if the love of money seems to actively exclude God, it would surely be the devil's work, especially when you note what it can do to corrupt your mind. Those dangling the carrot of large sums can make it whisper manipulatively to you, to do bad things to others. It can be coercive and deceitful. If the amount is large enough, it promises to fulfill your wildest dreams, up to and including ruling a country or even the world. It can make things go away and bring other things closer to you. It silently manipulates free will. Now don't get me wrong, money's a double-edged sword and can be used for good too, but all it takes is one corrupt link in the chain for it to be switched once more, like the CEO of a charity being paid millions of dollars, or lawyers dragging out an argument about a trust fund until there's nothing left to fight over. I think, perhaps unrealistically, that if more people and companies used money for honest exchange and investment instead of preferring to manipulate both people and markets, perhaps less would be inclined to sacrifice other people's future for the paper equivalent of 30 pieces of silver.